Hi guys, Easy Pickings here for BGPP Clan TV, and welcome to Moab Monday. Now today's episode I'm going to talk about tips and tricks for going for Moabs. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about the gameplay in the background. It's a TDM Moab on Carbon. I think my end score is 38-4. I remember this game is one of the first games I had of the day, so my aim was a little bit rusty. I started here off with the PP90, but I found it wasn't working. I found that they were, every time I shot my gun, they were seeing my red dot on the minimap and pretty much, making a beeline for that. So I ended up swapping out to my MP7, and it actually turns out to be my quickest Moab that I've had. I think the time was around about 1 minute and 57 seconds. I'm not exactly sure on the time, but I think it was around that mark. So now on to tips and tricks. So there's a few things that I do and a few things that I've learned about going for Moabs that I basically set as like almost guidelines for myself. So the first one is use whatever gun you are the most comfortable with. If you're going for just Moabs, then I advise that. If you find that, say for instance, the ACR is your most comfortable gun, use that. Second thing is use a silencer. It helps so much. It just hides you off that minimap. You don't show up with a red dot. You can be in their spawn, and they're not going to know where you are. Another thing is, when you're navigating around the map, always try and tend to stick to the outer areas of the map. Try not to walk too much into the middle. What you're doing here is you're limiting your lines of sight. So if you're in the middle of the map, you've got pretty much a 360 view of yourself that you can get taken out anywhere on the map by. And if you're on the edge of the map, you've probably only got like 2 or 3 angles that you can actually be taken out by. Another thing, use your minimap. Now what I tend to do with this is, as you can see at the moment, all my teammates are up by C-Dom, so I know that the enemy team is going to be spawning around the A domination flag. I know we're not playing domination, but I use them as like a guideline almost. So I'm the only one down in this area of the map. That's how I tend to operate. I try and keep away from my teammates as much as possible, and just pretty much try and keep myself in the enemy spawn for as long as possible. See, as you can see here, I'm going on a little kill feed here in the enemy spawn. There's still the only one here. And another thing, try not to stay in one area for too long. The longer you're in that area, the more they're going to come, the more the enemy are going to come for you. So, if you can move around the map while killing them, it's harder for them to find you and basically lose your kill streak. Another thing is try and learn all the spawns for each and every map. Each map has specific spawn points. Some are more major than others. So if you combine this with your mini-map awareness, you'll pretty much know where the enemy team's spawning, I'd say 90% of the time. So another thing that I use is I try and use perks that allow me to stay alive longer and actually help me stay on my gun streaks. So for instance, I use an Astro A40 headset. I use pretty much sit rep, I'd probably say 70% of the time. What sit rep Pro does is allows you to hear enemy footsteps louder. So it's almost like having a UAV up in the sky. You can hear them before they can even see you. So you're more prepared for that gun battle than they are. So I'd say 95% of the time you're going to win that gun battle. So those are just some of the things that I use to go for Moabs. Hope some of them help. What I'll probably do in the next video is go through some of my classes. So I hope that helps, and I'll catch you in the next episode, guys. See you later.